Okay, I'm going to give a quick overview on what it takes to install a set of airbags on a newer body style. This is a 2019 Ram. The kit that I bought, I got the AirLift 5000, the Load Lifter 5000, and this particular kit is the 5737.5, and it's for the newer style 1500 Ram four-wheel drive. So the first thing you want to do is jack it up, pull the wheels off, the back anyway, and you want to put your stands under the frame so you can let the rear axle hang. Then you got to grab our bumpers, and you're supposed to just be able to twist and pull them off very easily. Okay. Now we got to cut these brackets off. These mounting points for the bumpers have to go. Okay, after removing both brackets, on the driver's side frame rail, we've got this bracket holding the brake lines. You got to take out this bolt. I believe it's a 13 mil to pull it out, and we got to put a spacer on top of this to raise those brake lines up. They provide you with the spacer and the longer bolt. So the kit does have a left and right side. Like this bracket, they're marked with L and R. And now is the point where we assemble it all. It gives you detailed instructions on the order in which to assemble it and the bolts to use in the proper locations. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this all together now. Now before I get rocking on this, the air fittings that come with this, you'll see there's a little bit of thread sealant on it. I don't trust that. I've done enough air ride systems where I know that I always throw a little bit of thread sealant on it, because that stuff that comes with it, I mean, it's pretty dry and thin, and Teflon tape, I've never had good luck with Teflon tape, but this stuff, thread sealant by Permatex, awesome stuff. Okay, I got the bag assemblies assembled. I left the top two bolts a little loose so that these can move around. It's a slotted hole, so they move. Those will get tightened up later. It's a 9/16 socket to tighten those up, and the bottom is I believe it's a 7/32 Allen key. Now we got to get these brackets on the frame. To do so, they send you these interesting little wires that actually thread onto your carriage bolts, like so. And this is so we can feed the bolt through the frame on the truck, basically from the inside out. So we're going to do that now so that we can mount those brackets. So that was a little interesting, but it really wasn't that difficult. I found that like if I torqued the bracket sideways and pushed against the bolt wouldn't move, and I could spin that wire off, and you kind of pinching the bolt against the frame so you can get your nut on. But you do want to leave them loose at this point, so you got some adjustment. And yeah, not too difficult. Time to get the bag in. Okay, next you can throw the whole bag assembly in, and make sure you have to hook the back. If you can see down there, it just hooks in, and then you've got two carriage bolts. Get a light down here on the front side, one there, one on the other side. Those can be tightened down. Now with a jack under the rear end, you want to lift it up till the bag meets the upper bracket. And then there's two bolts that you have to feed up into the upper brackets. It's a bit of a pain, but it's doable. And then once you have those finger tight, since the rear ends are already lifting up on the, like the bag's already pushing up tight against the bracket, you got to make sure this bracket is tight up against the frame, and then push forward on the upper bracket. So you want to be all the way up and all the way forward, and you can tighten up the two bolts going down into the bag, and then you can tighten these two bolts coming out of the frame, and then everything should be tight. Your four bolts up here are tight, and your bottom two are already tight. Okay, so once you got all the bolts tight underneath, if you come in the side, you still have a couple bolts to tighten up on the top of your bag. You can kind of see them in there. You get two on each side. And then you have to run your airline. I pretty much lost all my daylight now, but I chose to put my Schrader valves in the gas door, or in behind the gas door. You can put them wherever you want. Some guys like to put them, you know, either back here or beside the license plate, but you have more than enough airline because this side will be shorter. I tuck mine up in there. In Canada, we use salt on the road, so that'll kind of keep it protected from these things buggering up and corroding up because of the salt. And since I don't have onboard air, I plan on just keeping a little, I do have a little air compressor, but the length of the cord on it, when you plug it into your cigarette lighter, barely reaches the back tire. So if I'm somewhere and I load my trailer heavy and I need to add air to my bags, I want to be able to put air in here, and my little compressor will reach here. So I can just pull up my little air compressor, add air as I need, and it's simple. The airline simply pushes into that fitting. If you can see it in there. It's just a push click style, pretty easy. And yeah, that's it. Like to access this area too, I mean, to pull the inner fender out was easy. Just a bunch of 8mm bolts. Inner fender comes out. I ran my airlines up there. But you can put them wherever you want. But other than that, that is it. You'll see I've got this airline. I ran it right along the bottom side of the bed, zip tied it up, brought it down around the frame, and plugged it in on this side. Don't forget to tighten the two bolts on the top of the bag. They're kind of a bugger to get to. You have to, if you have a ratchet wrench, use it. It's a 9/16. This is a 5/16 hole you need to drill to run these guys through, but pretty simple. So all in all, this kit was relatively easy to install. It took me about 2 hours, and that's with filming it. So you should be able to do it a little bit quicker. But if you can really even see it when the truck's on the ground, you can't, but they're there. And I mean, I'd like to say that it's a direct bolt-on kit, which it kind of is, but if you plan on taking it off and reverting back to stock form, it will take some fabrication, as you will have to weld your bump stops back on if you didn't already pull them out. But I mean, if you're looking to put a kit on like this, I mean, that was my experience putting it on. Just kind of a quick little rundown on how I did it. But yeah, hope this video helps.